lovelies, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, hi, my name is Mary and I give you an extra warm welcome. I would love it if you grabbed a snack, stayed for a while, and click the subscribe button. I would love to have you. And if you're a returning viewer, thank you so much for coming back. I appreciate you more than you know. So as you can tell by the title of the video, and of course because it's Sunday, not my usual video day, but Halloween is tomorrow. And you guys know that it's one of my favorite holidays, if not my number one. Today we're going to go simple. I went to Walmart and picked up this little witch hat. So we're going to turn ourselves into a cute little witch. Basically, this is the last minute costume idea for those mamas who don't necessarily enjoy Halloween, but you do it for the kids and you don't want to be the party poopers, so you want to just throw something on real quick. So let's go ahead and get started. Okay, as you can tell, I already have my base down. I did go into a tiny bit of cream bronzer and a tiny bit of cream blush and then set everything down with powder. I also have my eyes primed already and I use the NARS eye primer. So I think for today we're going to jump into the Strange and Unusual palette from Bella Beauty Bar. I feel like this one has the perfect green in here to use. I'll also be dipping into this deeper green. When I think of a witch, I think of greens and purples. That's just what I think of. Let's get started with this eye look. Okay, I don't even know what I'm doing. I have here an image that I'm kind of using as inspiration, but we'll see how it turns out. This is the Morphe and Ariel 820. I'm going to dip into Beetlejuice, the dark green in this palette. There's going to be a trunk or treat event here in the park that's provided here for the community, so I'll be taking my kiddos to that. Okay, I'm going to keep this mostly in the outer corner, and I do have a small little heater on, although I think I heard Hartley girl turn it off here when she was hanging out in here. So if it does go off, it just sounds like a fan. That's what it is. And I am going to wing this out. Also bringing it down here. I think all the way in. Why not? Okay, so I did go in to some concealer on the back of my hand, and I used this Morphe and Ariel A19, the flat side. So there's this one that's like to tight line right under, and then there's this other more, it's like a little paddle type of brush. And I cut my crease and brought it in to the nose. I didn't film it because I wasn't sure what I was going to do, but this is what I came up with. Now we're going to jump into the neon green in the palette, which is Recently Deceased. And I'm going to use this brush. I did wipe it down because I want this to be precise. Once I have done that, then I'll go ahead and maybe use a fluffier brush. But for now, I just want it to stay right where I cut the crease. Okay, this is what we got so far. Now I'm going to dip into Adam, which is the black. It's like a sparkly black, but you can't even see the sparkle really once you apply it. This is the Sonia G Detail brush. And I'm just going to deepen up the outer corner a tiny bit. Almost create like a wing. And you'll see why here in a minute, because this is kind of going to go with my eyebrows. And I feel like it's a given. You have to use black when you're a witch, you know. I think USPS is pulling up with my Lunar Beauty Advent calendar, and I cannot even film with it today. Okay, so this is what we got. I went ahead and blended out the black just a tiny bit. Now I think I want to go into a purple shimmer. I think I want to layer. So let's layer Bio Exorcist That one has like a shift. Yeah, you know what? It's fine. Let's do By Your Exorcist, and then we're going to top it off with this. Just see what it looks like. I'm only going to use, I think, a tiny bit, not too much. Because I think like that. And then now with my index finger, I'm going to jump into Delia, but that one's very chunky. I picked up too much, so I did tap it off on the back of my hand. I'm gonna put it right on top of that Bio Exorcist. Okay, I did take out the Odin's Eye and Hela palette that they collaborated with Angelica Nyqvist. Boom. Neon green. What is the shade? Venom. Perfect. Let's see how this looks in the front. Oh yeah. Beautiful. I knew I had one. And I'm actually going to leave this out because there's a pretty forest green in here that I might use a tiny bit for like contour. Okay, now I'm going to do my brows, and they're going to be pretty crazy. I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury because I accidentally picked up the shade, I think it's Natural Black. I don't use black for my eyebrows. So yeah, let's build these brows, and we're gonna make them pretty crazy. How should I start? On the bottom? I didn't want to use eyeliner because I wanted, like, if I mess up, you know. And I'm just going to like make them bushy. We all know witches don't trim their brows, right? And I am going to bring it down and connect it to this nose thing. But let me just get the brows on first. Okay, so this is what we got. I am going to go back into that Sonia G brush and the shade Atom from the palette. And I'm just going to, maybe I should get a more. Okay, let's try this lip brush. This is from Moda. It is the BMD 655. Yeah, this is gonna work perfect. And I'm just bringing this down. Okay, this is what we're looking like. I just dropped my Hela palette and mirror broke, so hopefully it doesn't mean anything. Going to dip into this Morphe M330, and I'm dipping into the forest green that I said is in the palette, Ouroboros. I'm probably butchering that, but barely dipping in, and this is gonna go right here. I did fill in my brows with black shadow just because I feel like it's less harsh than if I were to use like a lip liner, you know, or eyeliner I should say. And I'm kind of just putting this here. Let's see if I can just blend that neon green and the black. I do have a rag so I can clean the brush in between. I am going to put a tiny bit of that green one in the outer corner of this eye look. Just the tiniest bit. Okay, now comes the, I guess, contour. I'm going to use this e.l.f. brush. It's a blush brush, but I use it for like chiseling. Going to dip into Atom the black in the Strange and Unusual palette. I barely dipped because this is a black bristle brush and I can't tell how much I dipped into the product. I'm really buffing, guys, because For some reason, this block doesn't want to blend all that great. Okay, I pulled out my Natasha Denona. I think it might be the actual black shade in this palette. That's the only thing about Halloween looks is you usually have a couple of palettes out. Okay, let's try this again. I lightly dipped into it. It's just looking patchy. What the frick? Okay, let's try another brush. I didn't want to get any of my nice brushes dirty, and I am using the BK Beauty, the new brushes that she just came out with today, but I'll just clean it right after I'm done. This is the BK Beauty 111. It's like the bronzer brush. At least it's just black, you know? Okay, a little bit better. Okay, I'm going to dip a tiny bit into the neon green Beetlejuice in the Strange and Unusual palette. I'm just going to buff this here. Add a tiny bit of green. Like maybe I should have just done a line of green. Okay, while we're waiting for the lashes to dry, I did put on some mascara. I think I'm going to try and apply some blush. Let's see if Bio Exorcist will work, because that one has a tiny bit of a shift. I'm going to use, let's see if this one works. It's the Laura Lee Los Angeles L12. And I'm just going to put it like right here, almost like hugging my cheekbone. And you'll see like the shift of the shade here and there, you know? Okay, I went in to Tati Lashes and Jamie Genevieve TL Jamie 2. They're pretty bold. Okay, now I'm going to jump in to the Strange and Unusual, and I'm going to jump into Sandworm because I feel like that has a slight green shift to it. Yeah, see? And I want to use that right under here and just a tiny bit in the inner corner. Probably should spray my brush. This is just like a small little Ofra pencil brush. All right, I did go in to my ColourPop green liner. This is so old. The lettering is, yeah, I think that came out when the green collection came out. Honestly, I'm not even sure. I'm going to jump into this liquid lipstick from Sigma. Venom is the name. Pop this on. Is it dark enough? And of course, I feel like the witch always has like a beauty mark. Beauty mark. Just gotta figure out where I want it. So I have this one here. So let's do this one here. And I feel like she has a really big one. So I have two that are like right next to each other. So let's make this a big one. Oh yeah, and then one more. Let's do one here. And this is the Kat Von D tattoo liner. Okay, let's go into the Sandworm shade in this palette. Try to use that as a tiny bit of highlight. Just out here. It's not working that great as a highlight just because of the texture of the actual shimmer shade, you know? But it's pretty. Hands down, the worst part about Halloween makeup is taking it off. Okay, And I'm actually going to dip into Barbara, which is the white. By the way, this is the Morphe Ariel A14. And I'm just going to brighten up a tiny bit. Okay, and we're done. Put on our little hat. This was like $5, by the way. I hate that you're not in frame. There we go. If you want, you can do your hair all crazy and frizzed out. Isn't this cute? Okay, well that is it for this little quick Halloween look, and it's the last Halloween video for 2022. I had so much fun. This came out very cute. Definitely something that you can do fairly easy. What time is it? It's 12:40 and I started a little bit after 11, so it didn't take an hour and a half or so. But yeah, super cute. Love it. Let me know what you think. And that is it for this little Halloween series and for this Halloween makeup video. Okay, I would love it if you gave the video a thumbs up, and I would also love it if you joined my family by clicking the subscribe button. So until next year, we'll see what I do next year, but yeah, that is it. Okay, bye.